I'm back. All right, now let's get into some NFL talk. Specifically, let's talk about with the Bears what they did releasing. Well, they haven't released yet because in the NFL you can't release someone until the beginning of the new year, in early March. But it appears that the Bears are going to release a kicker that I'm sure people know from the playoffs, where unfortunately it looked like he missed a kick, but it really was a tipped kick where the defensive guy blocked it and it looked like he missed it, but really someone defended it. And that's with Cody Parkey, the kicker from the Bears. He has been looks like he will be released beginning of the new NFL season. And that's an interesting situation because it wasn't just one incident. Unfortunately, the last one happened in a really big playoff game where they really looked like they had a good chance of making the playoffs and all that. But unfortunately, it just didn't work out that way because they lost, with the Eagles and all that. But there was misses that happened in the regular season. But I truly think one of the real reasons looks like he's going to get released was unfortunately due to the fact that there was, after it was done, it wasn't even probably less than 2 weeks. He did an interview about it, and I think that really is what killed him because I'm sure players it was bittersweet for them to lose. They know what happened, his history, the organization, and I think it probably just rubbed probably people the wrong way, or even the fans. Although you don't want to take their perspective and run with it, but there was all these different things that came together, and it was probably just the last straw. And said, "Listen, we got to let this guy go." I just kind of wish I get it in some ways, but at the same time, I don't because yeah, he didn't do great in the regular season. He missed some kicks. He missed, I think, about 4 kicks in crucial situations. And the last one in the playoffs, where, with the commentator saying there was a double doink and things like that. And it was just really bad. But I just think there could have been at least try him out in when the off season comes and see, and maybe instead do a competition and say, hey, we're going to bring in a new kicker and you got to prove to us that you're going to be here. But instead, it seems like they're not doing that. They're going to release him, and that's their prerogative, and that's what they want to do. But I just think there could have been a better way of handling the situation, for both sides, things like that. But obviously, it just didn't work out that way. And obviously, I wish the kicker that he has, finds a new team and everything's the best. That I'm sure some fans do as well. But now let's get into something more interesting in the NFL with regards to the rules when it comes to review. It seems like there has not been there have been discussions, but they cannot come to a consensus on a new rule or something what to do with that when it comes to review. And I think that's a shame. I think that they really have to figure this out because you can't have something like that happen to the Saints. Yeah, it may not have been on the last play of the game where it was to win it all, but still, it was pretty close. And you can't say that didn't have some effect on the game. Yeah, they still had a chance to win, but think about it. That was really an egregious play. And who knows? We may never see that play again in the playoffs, but there could be a regular season game. Or maybe it is in the playoffs. I think there's got to be some rule or something you put to regulate that because that cannot happen again. It just can't. So I hope that, as the NFL off season continues, that they come to some kind of consensus or something that they say, well, you give the officiating more leeway. Or I honestly think on situations like that, you have New York or you have someone who is designed, maybe create a new role, who's out there or in the stadium, who's reviewing that with as the play is going, and they could review it there and give, hey, listen, guys, you made a mistake here. I think you should review this again. Or New York should say, hey, listen, we saw this before and we should figure out what to do. This is what happened. You should try to fix it, something like that. But who knows? I don't think it's going to go exactly that way. It's just a shame to see that happen that way. But what can you do? That sometimes is one of those things that happen in the NFL. And we'll just see if they hopefully come to some kind of decision and we'll hopefully work on it. All right. Well, that's it for me for today. I want to thank everyone for listening. And if you ever want to tweet me, you could do so at RobertSosa2nd1 on Twitter. And if you ever have any sports questions, just send it there, and I'll try to answer to the best of my ability. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.